Miami is a city of sun, surf, and shadows. Beneath the glow of neon lights and the rhythm of ocean waves, darkness hides in plain sight. At the center of it all lived Dexter Morgan, a man with two faces. To his colleagues at Miami Metro, he was the quiet genius of the crime lab, a blood spatter analyst whose calm smile and boyish charm made him appear harmless, even ordinary. But when the sun went down, Dexter's world transformed. The mask slipped, the smile faded, and the hunger of his dark passenger took control. Guided by the rigid rules of his adoptive father Harry, the infamous code, Dexter became a predator of predators, a killer who only hunted those who themselves had killed. To outsiders, it was the perfect disguise: the dutiful brother, the loyal boyfriend, the dependable coworker. Yet every lie, every excuse, every carefully crafted story was just one misstep away from collapsing. Because living as both hunter and hunted meant walking a razor's edge. A misplaced bloodslide, a suspicious look, a door opened at the wrong moment. That was all it would take for Dexter's entire world to unravel. And throughout his life, there were times when it nearly did. Tonight, we look back at those moments when Dexter Morgan's mask of normalcy cracked, when discovery was only a breath away, and when the dark passenger almost lost its cover forever. From the very beginning, Sergeant James Doakes was different. Where others at Miami Metro laughed at Dexter's awkward jokes and brushed off his strange habits, Doakes never bought the act. He didn't see a harmless lab geek. He saw something darker, lurking behind the polite smile and soft-spoken voice. To Doakes, Dexter was a predator hiding in plain sight, and predators don't fool hunters like him. His suspicion wasn't casual, it was relentless. Doakes trailed Dexter without warning, appearing suddenly in doorways, questioning his every move, and watching him with cold, piercing eyes. While his fellow detectives trusted Dexter's instincts at crime scenes, Doakes saw those same instincts as proof he was too good, too quick, too fascinated by blood. Every theory Dexter offered, every crime scene analysis, only deepened Doakes' certainty that something wasn't right. It wasn't just professional rivalry, it was personal obsession. Doakes would tail him late at night, follow his car, even show up unannounced at his apartment, searching for cracks in Dexter's mask. Each time, Dexter had to scramble, inventing half-truths, masking evidence, and keeping his trophies hidden. What made Doakes so dangerous wasn't just his suspicion, it was his persistence. He didn't stop when others dismissed their doubts. He pushed harder, closing in like a predator circling prey. For Dexter, it became a deadly game of cat and mouse, one in which the smallest mistake could expose his double life to the entire department. And in Doakes, Dexter found not just a rival, but a shadow that refused to let him breathe. Season 1 introduced Dexter to the only killer who truly understood him, the ice truck killer. At first, it seemed like just another brutal case for Miami Metro. Victims found dismembered, their bodies drained of blood, and their remains carefully arranged as if on display. But these weren't random killings. Every detail felt personal, almost intimate. The ice truck killer wasn't just murdering, he was sending messages. Fingertips placed on neatly wrapped presents, mannequins painted to mimic Dexter's childhood trauma, and crime scenes designed with surgical precision. Each new clue was like a mirror, reflecting Dexter's own ritualistic methods back at him. And then came the moment when the game turned deadly personal. Body parts delivered directly to Dexter's apartment. A trophy left like a gift. It wasn't simply a taunt. It was exposure waiting to happen. If Debra, Rita, or anyone else had found those gruesome packages before Dexter did, the mask would have shattered instantly. For Dexter, this wasn't just another investigation. It was a nightmare unfolding in real time. The ice truck killer wasn't trying to hide from Dexter. He was trying to reveal him. Every crime scene was a breadcrumb trail, leading not away from the killer, but closer to Dexter's own secrets. The hunter had become the hunted, and every step brought him closer to discovery. Dexter's relationship with Rita was designed to be the perfect cover, a safe suburban mask to hide the darkness inside him. But even Rita wasn't immune to suspicion. When she discovered Dexter's stash of syringes and tranquilizers, her mind jumped to drug addiction. To the world, that was shocking enough, but it was far safer than the truth. In that moment, Dexter realized that sometimes a lie wasn't just protection, it was survival. Every killer has trophies, and Dexter's were the blood slides he kept hidden. But when Lila, his unstable lover, stumbled upon his secret box, Dexter's entire world nearly collapsed. She didn't fully grasp what she was holding, but the risk was terrifyingly real. For Dexter, it was a reminder that no matter how private the ritual, temptation and curiosity could bring anyone too close to the truth. The greatest danger to Dexter didn't come from cops, criminals, or lovers. It came from his own sister. Debra Morgan adored her brother, but over time, small cracks formed. Why was Dexter always vanishing at odd hours? Why did he seem so detached from human emotions? And in that shocking moment, at the end of season 6, Debra literally walked in on Dexter mid-kill, the truth spilling out in blood right before her eyes. It wasn't just a close call. It was the moment his carefully constructed world shattered. Captain Maria LaGuerta was one of the sharpest minds in Miami Metro, and she never believed that Doakes was the Bay Harbor butcher. Years later, she followed the trail of evidence straight to Dexter. From re-examining old case files to setting traps, LaGuerta stood on the edge of proving everything. Dexter was forced into the impossible, kill or be caught. And when he chose to silence her, it was no longer just about the code. It was about survival at any cost. Love is dangerous for someone with secrets as dark as Dexter's. His relationship with Hannah McKay, a killer in her own right, brought passion, but also risk. When she poisoned Debra in a twisted attempt to protect their love, Dexter's walls closed in. Every ally, every bond, was now a potential threat. The more people he let in, the closer he came to being unmasked. For Dexter Morgan, survival was never about brute strength or blind luck. It was about precision, the careful calculation of every lie, every excuse, every step in his double life. Each day was a delicate balancing act, walking the razor-thin line between light and darkness, truth and deception. His closest calls weren't just fleeting scares. They were reminders of how fragile the mask truly was. A bloodslide left out of place, a question asked at the wrong time, a sister walking through the wrong door. Each moment could have been the end. But time and time again, Dexter's instincts, sharpened by years of hiding, allowed him to slip through the cracks, blending back into the ordinary world around him. Yet the truth of living this way is that no mask can last forever. Secrets don't remain buried. They rot, they seep, and eventually they surface. For years, Dexter managed to convince everyone, his colleagues, his family, even himself, that he was untouchable. But every narrow escape was not proof of invincibility, only a countdown ticking closer to the inevitable. Because even predators have blind spots. Even hunters can become the hunted. And though Dexter evaded justice longer than anyone could have imagined, in the end, the shadows always catch up. His life was a performance on the edge of a knife, and no matter how steady his hands, all it takes is a single slip for the blade to draw blood. Dexter Morgan's story reminds us of one haunting truth. You can run from the world, you can even run from the law, but you cannot run from who you truly are.